Hi everyone, in today's video we're doing another custom Loungefly bag. In this setup it looks like we have 4 to choose from, so let's do this one. This bag was originally an Esmeralda bag from Box Lunch. I'll insert a photo of what it originally looked like, and you can also tell by the inside lining, but now it's becoming a Bug's Life bag. I've already went ahead and I pre-cut and treated the fabric. For anyone who might be new to my channel, if you want more of a tutorial video, look in the description below. There's lots of links for detailed tutorials. Whereas in this video, we're going to be talking about the movie itself while you hang out with me as I make this bag. So without further ado, let's get into it. I love this movie. I love seeing the world from an insect's point of view, and the characters that come along with it are just exceptional. We'll start with Flick, who's a worker ant, and he's an inventor who's always trying to improve efficiency through innovation. The other ants find him kind of a nuisance because they like routine. And he basically breaks all traditions with his inventions. For instance, they harvest grains one by one, whereas Flick invented a machine that will harvest the whole plant to get in multiple seeds at once, just stuff like that. And next we have Princess Ada, who's training to become queen. She's a bit stressed and high-strung, but I mean, who wouldn't be when they were training for queen, right?
Okay, Ada, now what do we do?
Oh, don't tell me. I know it. What is it?
We relax.
Right.
Basically, the premise of this movie is that the ants gather a ton of food to feed the grasshoppers in exchange for their protection, or more so that the grasshoppers don't kill them. And when I say a ton of food, I mean a ton, where they barely ever have any left for themselves, and they have to hit a certain quota as to not enrage the grasshoppers. Obviously, not the best way to live, but it kind of is what it is. And as the ants are gathering the seeds and grains, an alarm is sounded, which means the grasshoppers are on their way. The ants quickly throw in any leftover grain and seeds that there is into the pile, and Flick, being the last one running behind, he doesn't have any time to take off his machine to unload his grain, so he just kind of chucks the whole thing into the pile, which it ends up falling off, hits a rock, and it causes the whole collection to fall into a stream of water. Thus, there is no offering now. Needless to say, the grasshoppers arrive. They are furious.
So where is it? Where's my food?
And they now demand that the ants gather double that amount of food and have it ready for them by the time the season ends, when the last leaf falls. If not, basically, all the ants will be killed. Flick, being the out-of-box thinker that he is, decides to volunteer to go off the ant island and recruit help to fight the grasshoppers off, which Princess Ada supports, but really it's just to get him out of everyone's hair so they can concentrate on gathering their grain again. Flick ventures out and he meets circus bugs.
A bee! I am a cute little bumblebee! Here I come!
I should more so say that they're performing bugs from a failed circus who just all got fired, but yeah, he happens to encounter them just as they are about to get into an altercation with some angry flies.
Get up and fight like a girl!
They go to escape these angry flies, but it kind of looks like they're almost battling them heroically.
My sword! Swish, swish, clang, clang. He thinketh it's not working!
Regardless, he interprets this as like a sense of bravery by them, which is not true by any means. And in the end, he asks them to help his colony against the grasshoppers, and he mentions gathering grain. It's kind of all over the place, but they misunderstand this as a dinner theater gig, thinking that he's some sort of talent scout. Ipso facto, ton of miscommunication in the scene.
You're perfect! I have been scouting for bugs with your exact talents!
A talent scout.
My colony is in trouble! Grasshoppers are coming! We've been forced to prepare all this food!
Dinner theater!
Food? Please! Will you help us?
Where are they? We'll take the job! Yeah!
Really?
Which leads the circus bugs to accept the job from Flick. Flick thinks he has his much needed warrior bugs, and the circus bugs thinks they found their next gig as a dinner theater performance. So all together, they head back to the ant colony. They tell the ants the great news, and the colony is ecstatic and relieved that they won't have to keep gathering. And it's not until the celebration party that the circus bugs finally realize they're not there for entertainment, but they're there for war. They tell Flick, and Flick has realized his grave mistake. The circus bugs go to make a quick exit. This leads us to the bird scene.
Oh, run! Boy, he runs fast for a little guy.
So as they're trying to leave, Flick is trying to stop them, and Dot, who is Princess Ada's little sister, ends up needing rescuing when she floats off on a dandelion petal after her curiosity got the best of her when she was trying to see what was going on with Flick and the circus bugs. All of this commotion catches the attention of the whole ant colony. They watch as Flick, Dot, and the circus bugs nearly all get eaten by the bird. They see them maneuver, bait switch, and barely escape the bird by outsmarting it. The group ends up back safely at the ant colony island and are surrounded with a round of applause, which of course the circus bugs love because they hadn't had a proper applause in who knows how long. Francis, who's the ladybug, ends up hurting his leg during all of this, so now he has to recover before they can leave again. It's during this time that Flick tries to persuade them to stay without success, and it isn't until Flick has an epiphany that Hopper, like any other insect, is also afraid of birds. So Flick realizes that the circus bugs can help them without ever having to fight the war, simply by helping him build a bird vessel that the ants then will control, which will scare the grasshoppers away. The bugs agree, they tell their plan to Princess Ada, who also gives the okay, and thus Project Bird begins. I should note, during this whole time, the ant colony and Princess still have no idea that they're circus bugs and they still think they're warriors. Fast forward and the bird is completed. It's built out of twigs, acorns, and leaves, and they set it in its mark awaiting the grasshopper's arrival. This would be the time now that the circus bugs' obligations fulfilled, so they could leave if they want to, but wouldn't you know it, they decide they want to stay. They've kind of grown to like the ants and their sense of community, and just as this happens, who strolls into town but their old circus boss looking for them? I guess he realized firing them was a mistake. Their last show, there was like a commotion, it went on fire. Needless to say, that ended up being a big hit once publicity went out there, so now he wants all of them back. Well, cat's out of the bag now. The ant colony realize they've been tricked, and they are not happy about it. The circus bugs reluctantly leave with their boss. Flick is kicked out of the colony, so he goes with them. Time passes, and the last leaf falls. Enter the angry grasshoppers. Furious that their food isn't gathered, they start going crazy, ants scurrying everywhere. Dot decides she needs to get help, so she locates Flicks and the circus bugs to bring them back. So in the middle of all this chaos, the circus bugs come in and they distract the grasshoppers with the show, while Dot and her fellow ant scouts and Flick all sneak up to where the bird is to put the plan in action.
Hold on! Bird, it's a bird!
The bird contraption swoops down and all the grasshoppers are frantic and scared running. But the bird accidentally catches fire, so at this point Hopper realizes it's fake, which obviously makes him angry, so he threatens to squish Dot. But Flick stands up to him.
Ants don't serve grasshoppers. It's you who need us. We're a lot stronger than you say we are. And you know it, don't you?
And the ants then all together realize that they outnumber the grasshoppers, making them superior. So they stand up to all the grasshoppers, chasing them away, minus Hopper, who tries to pursue Flick to kill him. Flick actually leads him to a real bird's nest though, the bird from earlier in the movie, and Hopper is eaten. The end. The ants live happily ever after. They now embrace all of Flick's inventions and they bid farewell to the circus bugs who are now going on their successful tour, and life is good. With that, it looks like our bag is just about done, so let's look at the finished product. And here it is. What do you guys think? It is out of my usual style, but I still think it's cute. As always, thanks for hanging out with me today, and if you want, feel free to like and subscribe, and until next time, bye friends!